earbuds. You know those things that you get with cheap MP3 players, or sometimes you get them with smartphones and things like that. They get a bit of a bad rep because there's so many cheap junk ones around, and they're cheap to make, cheap to buy. They're kind of sometimes looked upon as a throwaway item, but not always. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So I'm here with the Astrotec Lyra Nature Limited Edition earbuds. You might notice that's a typo on the box there. Don't worry about it. This is just a review unit. All the production models do not have that typo. It has been fixed already. So we've got here a premium earbud. The price is $399. Yes, you heard me right. That is $399 earbud. Now, here they are here. There's a special limited edition. They are 150 ohm earbud. So not only are they kind of costly, you also need a reasonable source to drive them with. So I wouldn't plug these straight into a smartphone. Something like the SoundAware M2 Pro here works just fine. Let's have a closer look at the earbuds now. Just take them off the cable here. And there they are. They only come in one color. They come in this kind of forest green, which I guess fits in with the nature naming of the earbud. And it's a pretty attractive earbud. It feels very nicely built. It is still very lightweight. On the back of the housing here, you can see their patented copper ball technology. What do they call it? The labyrinth filter, I think. It's designed to create a special sort of sound diffusion for the driver inside, and it's part of the Lyra heritage here. This is actually the 6th generation of the Lyra earbuds, if I remember correctly. And you can see there they've got MMCX connectors. You're pretty standard in terms of everything else. Just you know, an earbud. You can see the vents on the back of the driver housing there. So they've got plenty of, it's an open back like all earbuds basically are. Now I want to quickly cover the cables as well. You actually get 2 cables in the box. The first one here, which is the really, really nice one. This is an 8-core 6N OCC copper braided cable. It is gorgeous. This is a high-end cable. You know, this alone would add probably $100 to the price tag of the earbuds. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the polished aluminium MMCX connectors there, aluminium Y-split chin slider, and a straight 4.4 millimeter balance termination. So this is an absolutely gorgeous cable, very nice indeed. And this is the single-ended cable, or the unbalanced cable that comes in the box. And you can see here it uses those sort of mini MMCX connectors. I love these. I think they look so dope. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, both of these cables have preformed ear hooks or ear guides. So you're basically forced to wear the earbuds over your ears. And I'm not exactly happy with that. I would much rather see cable without the heat shrink tubing there, so you can choose whether you want to wear them over your ears or cable down. That's probably my one main gripe. Okay, so onto the sound now. And what kind of sound do you get from a $400 earbud? Well, I don't have experience with a whole bunch of earbuds to compare with. I've got the original Lyra Nature here. That's about half the price of these ones though. I've also got another one which I'll show you later on from a couple of years ago. But all the other ones that I've got are sort of sub $100 or even sub $50 earbuds. So it's pretty hard to know how these sort of fit in. But I can tell you that I do enjoy listening to these a lot. You know what? They sound very much like a good open back full-size headphone. You get a massive sound stage. The overall tonality is fairly balanced, but it's the sound stage that really sets these apart, especially from in-ear monitors, which are much more closed in. With these, because they're they just sit in your ears a lot more loosely, you get a lot of sound leaking out, you get a lot of sound leaking in, but it just gives you this amazing wide or vast, expansive soundstage, and it is really, really quite an experience when you're just sitting there and you suddenly you hear something over behind your shoulder and you turn around and realize the noise was coming out of your earbuds. So that is, one of the major benefits of an earbud. Not only that, some people just prefer this kind of style, putting these in your ears rather than shoving a silicone covered IM right in your ear holes. But I digress. Let's get back to the sound. I'll break it down, starting as always with the bass. Now, the bass on these it's not really emphasized. It does have a nice weight to it. It's got some good punch and impact to it. Compared to the original Lyra Nature, the limited edition, I would say it's got a little bit better bass texture. It has a bit better speed and slightly better definition, whereas the original Nature was a slightly warmer sound, slightly thicker bass. So although the bass quantity hasn't been boosted that much, these have got a 15mm dynamic driver, and that is a pretty big driver. Just for reference, like most in-ear monitors vary from 6mm to 10mm. This is 15, so it doesn't have to be loud or prominent in the mix to be authoritative or have a natural weight to it. So it's not all that boosted, but it's a nice natural sounding bass. So it has a nice natural weight to it. It is pretty much in line with the mid-range and the treble. It's all fairly balanced. The bass extension is good, like you do get some nice sub-bass rumble. It will vary depending on how you fit these in your ears. I find with earbuds, just the slight movement can change the sound quite a lot. Well, particularly with the Lyra, because of the way they're shaped differently from regular earbuds. I find the fit to be a little bit more finicky on the Lyra, but overall it's a nice textured bass, sounds really good. Now moving on to the mid-range, and the mid-range is, well, I like the sound overall, but I really like the mid-range because, first of all, you got that big old soundstage. On top of that, the mid-range has got excellent clarity. It's got really good note definition and solidity. Often when you get a larger soundstage, you lose definition in the notes. They kind of become more rounded or diffuse, and the imaging and positioning can become less defined. That is really the major strength, I think, with the Nature Limited Edition, is the note definition. The note size sounds very natural. It's neither cold or warm. It's pretty much neutral and uncolored. So, but you get these beautiful articulate lyrics. Instruments sound really nice. The timbre is quite good. The tone is really nice. There is a slight boost to the upper mid-range, as always. You get a bit of a boost there to increase the sort of vocal presence and instrument presence. But overall, it's just a very nice sounding mid-range with good instrument separation. But that soundstage, man, that's what it's all about. And finally, we get to the treble. And the treble is also another standout feature of the limited edition here. It is very airy, it's very light, and it's smooth as well. It's slightly diffuse. I wouldn't say it's the densest or the sharpest or most precise treble. It's kind of tuned more for airiness, spaciousness, and non-fatiguing nature rather than precision and detail retrieval, if you know what I mean. But it's a treble that you can listen to all day. It's never sharp, there's no sibilance, but it is very, it lends a spaciousness to the sound, kind of a softness to the high end, yet at the same time it's still able to provide clarity to the mid-range, definition to attack on percussion instruments, etc. So this is a treble that I can really get down with and I really enjoy it. And overall, this is just a great sounding earbud. It's a different kind of experience than you get with an in-ear monitor. It's just more open. It's sort of immerses you in a sense more into the music because it's not coming from inside your head. It actually comes from outside your headspace. I have one other earbud here for comparison. Now this is the Symfonio Dragon 2 Plus. Now I reviewed these a couple of years ago, it was now, and these retailed at the time for $319, I think it was. I'm not sure if the price has changed now, but you can see here that these are just a regular sort of design, a regular earbud style in terms of design. It's a plastic shell. The driver enclosure itself is pretty much exactly the same size as the Lyra Nature Limited Edition. It's a long name, I know. I'll just call it the LE. So the driver enclosure is the same size as the LE, but due to, you know, having to wear these over ear, these you wear straight down. There's no ear guides in the cable. I find this just to be much more comfortable, so much easier and faster to put in your ears and take out of your ears. But I should move on to the sound now. And the Dragon 2 Plus here has got more bass presence, but the bass is not as quick or well defined as the LEs. It's a bit thicker, it's a bit warmer, and it does bleed over into the mid-range a bit. The mid-range is a little bit muddier on these compared to the LE. It doesn't have the same level of clarity or articulation in the vocals. Instruments, the mid-range is a little bit softened, a little bit romanticized in comparison. Some people will like that more, others not so much. In terms of the treble on these two earbuds is actually quite similar, but because of the extra bass presence here and the extra thickness in the low end, the treble doesn't have as much room to breathe and open up, so the soundstage isn't as big on the Symfonio here. It's still a good soundstage, but not quite as open as the LE. And where the LE really comes ahead is that mid-range definition, the black air between, or the black background that the instruments, the mid-range floats out from, and the clarity from top to bottom that the LE has. So that about sums it up, guys, for the Astrotec Lyra Nature Limited Edition. Boy, what a name that is. Yes, they are a bit pricey. They do sound great, though. If you are an earbud lover, you owe it to yourself to at least consider these for your next purchase. As always, there will be a link to the written review in the description below, along with links to my social media channels. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more content like this in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later.